Waist deep in muddy water, shovel gripped like a warrior's axe, I faced Marlene Carver, Silver Pines HOA president, screaming from behind yellow caution tape she'd dared to string across my Cedar Hollow, Montana, property. Her voice cracked like a rusted hinge as she jabbed her clipboard, yelling, "You can't drain it. That pond's community property." Two men in cheap suits, looking like they'd stumbled out of a late-night legal ad, flanked her. One stepped forward, thrusting papers. "Sir, you've been served." I turned to the camera on my fence, stared into the lens, and said, "If they think this is theirs, they'll share the thorns too." With that, I plunged the shovel into the earth, starting a rebellion. Drop a comment, where are you reading this? Here's how I turned an HOA's land grab into a thorny victory. 6 months earlier, my quiet retirement was disrupted by a letter slid under my door. "I'm Derek Thornton, 62, retired botany professor, widower, and lover of solitude. 5 years ago, after my wife's passing, I bought this land in Oak Ridge Estates for its spring-fed pond and ironclad deed, stating everything, pond, trees, boulders, was mine. My property, zoned separately, was free from the Silver Pines HOA across Maple Lane. I never joined, and for years, they left me alone with their bake sales and cleanups. Then Marlene became president, wielding power like a weapon. Her face perpetually offended, her tone accusatory. She strutted like she owned Willow Creek and spoke like she ruled the county. She first approached with a forced smile, claiming the HOA wanted my pond as a reflection area for a non-existent walking group. "Derek, the community's talking," she said. I declined, politely, then firmly, then stopped answering her knocks. That's when the letters began, falsely claiming my pond was common green space, backed by absurd maps redrawing my property lines. I called my lawyer, Elliot Hayes, a friend with a debt of favors. He reviewed my deed, laughed at their claims, and said, "They're bluffing, but they're bold and foolish, a dangerous mix." I tried diplomacy, attending an HOA meeting at the Cedar Lane Community Center, enduring Marlene's parking violation sermon before presenting my county survey, predating the HOA. "The pond's mine," I said. Marlene scoffed, calling it our green space, flashing a pamphlet with a sun over my pond. "We'll see what a court says," she snapped. A week later, a cease and desist letter arrived, accusing me of blocking community access and violating non-existent bylaws. Elliot assured me we'd win in court, but it'd cost time and money. "File for injunctive relief," he suggested. I grinned. "No, I've got a better plan. They want the pond? They'll get thorns." I began draining the pond, rerouting the spring with a system I designed for drought studies. Filing Montana environmental permits, I transformed the pond into a botanical fortress, planting firethorn, devil's walking stick, and black locust, legal, native, and vicious. Marlene noticed the dropping water and arrived with a news crew, claiming I was harming frogs and butterflies. Holding my deed, I told the camera, "This pond's mine. The only thing I'm endangering is ignorance." The clip went viral as botanist battles HOA with thorns. Support flooded my inbox, including thorn-proof gloves from a fan. Marlene retaliated, sending a contractor to build a bench on my land, tearing down my fence. My trail cam caught it, and the Willow Creek sheriff, seeing the footage, ordered the crew off or face arrest. Marlene, fuming, hissed, "You'll regret this." I eyed my sprouting thorns and said, "You might." Each morning, I sipped coffee, watching my garden of regret grow, firethorns, red berries hiding needles, devil's walking sticks spiky menace, black locusts fierce spines. Marlene's schemes escalated. She tried rallying neighbors, warning I'd tank property values, but my viral stand weakened her grip. At an HOA meeting, live-streamed, she lost it when Clara Hayes questioned the legal costs of her failed claim. "Betrayal," Marlene shouted, dubbing me Thorn Man. The clip became a meme, her credibility crumbling. Then my cameras caught her trespassing at dusk, slipping in mud amid black locust thorns, scrambling away humiliated. I filed a trespass complaint. The sheriff warned her against illegal entry. She regrouped, undeterred, but I was ready. Spring brought a thriving thorn fortress, a poetic replacement for the pond. Firethorn lined the edges, barberry snagged ankles, black locust loomed, and devil's walking stick dared intruders. Neighbors dubbed it the Garden of Regret, half joking, half awed. I documented every plant, filing with the Montana Conservation Department. A Bozeman biologist praised it as a native defense ecosystem, using photos for a textbook caption created against HOA harassment. I added a sign, Garden of Regret. Trespassers will be pricked. Walkers cross Maple Lane to avoid it, its message clear. Marlene shifted to petty attacks, citing my mailbox's new thornless rose planter as non-compliant. I rebuilt it as a castle turret fortress with thorn vines, adding a camera playing, "Welcome to my lawful mailbox." When Marlene measured it, a vine snagged her skirt, sending her tumbling. My camera caught it. I sent it to Elliot for safekeeping. Marlene sent an unlicensed contractor to inspect irrigation damage, but my camera and trespass warning sent him packing. Then my decoy pipes, plastic fakes above ground, were tampered with, tripping sensors. Boot prints led to the sidewalk. A police report followed, and a handyman, arrested for theft, confessed Marlene hired him to sabotage my water system. The HOA fractured. Elliot Vance, vice president, skipped meetings. Clara, once loyal, apologized, admitting Marlene went too far. At a heated Cedar Lane meeting, Marlene pushed to expand HOA boundaries, but Elliot challenged her. "Have you read Derek's deed?" Her stammering reply drew mutters. No more lawsuits. The vote failed. Marlene sat, humiliated. My garden drew admirers, artists, nature clubs, students. I added a gravel path and flags for safety, the mailbox fortress a selfie spot. A Montana Conservation Council team documented it for habitat studies, praising its ingenuity. Marlene's final gambit was a Save the Green Space protest with cones, chairs, and a frog banner. Waving a megaphone, she shouted, "The people won't be silenced," to indifferent passers-by. I offered lemonade. A protester took it, dodging Marlene's grab. A news crew filmed her slipping in mud, airing her flustered claims against my calm deed presentation. She filed a county complaint, alleging my land raised taxes, but Assessor Joe Larson, chuckling at the thorns, confirmed no violations. The county issued a memo citing my case to verify HOA claims, branding Marlene a caution. The HOA board, fed up, ousted her in an emergency session. Elliot cited her costly obsession, and the vote was near unanimous. Marlene left, raging, stripped of power. Hank Larson, a no-nonsense retired Marine, became president, apologizing and funding a sign, "Experimental Botanical Zone." HOA access prohibited. Marlene's Maple Lane house, unsellable amid her infamy, sat overgrown. Viral clips of her mud-soaked fall deterred buyers. She moved away, defeated, her legacy a warning. Don't go full Marlene. I added milkweed and wildflowers to the garden, softening its edge, and a bench for morning coffees. A gardening magazine featured it as suburban botanical defense. Sipping tea, I smiled at my fortress of thorns and peace, knowing nature and I had won.